Hey there, just a heads up, this episode of the Judo Science Podcast was created with help from AI. Some of the voices you'll hear are synthetic, but the ideas come from real research and real judo.
Welcome to the debate. Today we're focused squarely on the preparation phase of the Uchimata, the inner thigh throw. We're looking at how elite judoka enter the technique compared to, well, less skilled practitioners.
Right. And for the dedicated hobbyist out there, the ones really trying to nail this demanding throw, the central question seems to be about priority, doesn't it? Should you really focus your training time primarily on, let's say, rapid forward penetration, just winning that space, or more on the fast, precise rotational speed of the arms and legs, the actual spin that destabilizes the opponent?
Exactly. And I'll be arguing that achieving that rapid forward movement is, well, it's the non-negotiable priority for success.
Okay. And I'll be coming at it from perhaps a slightly different angle. While forward motion is obviously part of the sequence, I believe the true mechanism of the throw really relies on prioritizing the speed of the rotational action, because ultimately that's what directly breaks the opponent's foundation.
Okay, well, my position, it's really founded on a core metric, body velocity. The research, it pretty clearly shows that high-skilled judoka achieve a peak center of mass, that's calm, basically where your weight is focused, a peak calm velocity in the forward direction that's almost, 60% faster than the low-skilled group. It's 0.82 meters per second versus 0.52. This rapid advancement toward the opponent, that's the foundation. That burst of speed is, I think, essential because it fundamentally shuts down the opponent's window to react or counter. It lets the rest of the technique deploy effectively. You just have to secure that space immediately.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, though I would maybe frame it differently, focusing more on causality. We agree forward speed is needed, sure, but the actual execution, the thing that does the work, is rotational. The data shows this massive statistical correlation, a very large positive link, R greater than 0.8, between the peak rotational speed of the thrower's arms and legs and the rotational energy, the angular momentum, that ends up in the opponent's trunk. This strong link, it really suggests that the speed of rotation of your limbs is what truly facilitates both the forward drive and the necessary destabilization of the opponent. It's the engine driving the throw, not just, cargo being moved forward.
I see why you'd think that. I do. But let me offer a different perspective. I absolutely acknowledge that the rotation correlates strongly, but the calm velocity, the forward speed, is the primary driver that enables that rotation to even be effective in the first place. If you aren't advancing quickly enough, that 0.82 meters per second, you lose the crucial initiative right off the bat. The fastest spin in the world is, pretty useless if the opponent has already neutralized your grips or shifted their weight, right? The study's conclusion itself suggests practitioners should prioritize that swift forward movement over solely focusing on rapid limb twisting, because that initial penetration, that's where the advantage is really seized.
I'm still not quite convinced by that line of reasoning, because couldn't it be that the forward speed is actually the result of maximizing those rotational forces, not the other way around? Think about it. The really specific finding is that high-skilled judoka showed significantly greater lower limb rotational speeds, 2.42 radians per second versus 1.79. That difference suggests the speed of the lower body mechanism is what forces the effective transition into the throwing phase. And your arms, they're the only parts actually connected to the UK, right? So their velocity directly dictates how much rotational energy gets transferred, 2.22 versus 1.24 for high-skilled. If we train that rotational mechanism properly, maybe the necessary forward speed will naturally follow.
But I'm just not convinced that simply training a faster spin will automatically generate the required entry speed needed for, real competitive success. Timing and initiative, they just matter too much. If your forward momentum is too slow, the opponent just has too much time to neutralize your grips or shift their center of mass. And that renders even the fastest leg action pretty ineffective. The speed of your body moving forward is the essential prerequisite, the thing that allows the subsequent limb actions to actually work without being immediately countered.
Okay, look, I value clarity here. High performance requires integrated speed. Absolutely. We both agree on that. But the massive correlation we talked about and the much higher limb rotational speed in skilled judoka, that confirms that focused, fast limb movement is critical for achieving the necessary destabilization. So maybe for the hobbyist, achieving greater velocity and precision in that spin is often the most direct path to generating the successful transfer of rotational energy needed for the throw.
Ultimately, I still maintain that for the hobbyist aiming for a truly effective Uchimata, achieving that initial rapid forward advancement, getting in close fast, is the essential foundation. It dictates whether the rest of the technique even has the time and space to succeed.
And I'd summarize by saying that while overall speed is obviously essential, the higher limb rotational speeds are absolutely key to the mechanism of the throw itself. High-skilled practitioners, they maximize both the forward advancement and the rotational action.
Next time on the Judo Science Podcast, Episode 6, Unbalancing the Opponent, How Biomechanics Powers the Osoto Gari.